One thing's clear to me so far is that when I do these wide stance sumos, or whatever you want to call them, they're not very good looking sumos, but they're wide stance regardless. Whenever I do them, squats feel better. I don't quite know exactly what's going on, but I can hypothesize that it's got something to do with longer adductors and more activated glutes, because that's kind of the advantage of externally rotating and flexing your hip. When you're fully externally rotated, your glutes come into it a bit more, and that's certainly what I feel when I'm doing sumos. And I know you're not supposed to feel that. You're supposed to feel quads and feel all upright, but the way I feel right now is I'm level 1 role-playing game character when it comes to sumo. I do not have the mobility, and probably that lack of mobility for sumo is what's limiting me in the squat as well. For whatever reason, over the years, I have gotten tighter and tighter in my adductors, more and more comfortable in bringing my stance in the deadlift and the squat, more and more narrower. And it's gotten to a point, I think, where it's so narrow that now it's becoming a problem. I'm very uncomfortable wide. I do not have the ability to externally rotate when I'm wide. It's frankly very, very uncomfortable. Today I pushed to 210. Dropped down to 170, did 5 sets of 5. Then went down to 120, did 3 sets of 10. So lots and lots of volume in the sumo. The wide stance. Then I finished off with some GHD, 5 sets of 30 there. Did some squats in between all of that, and the squats felt okay. Very, very weak, but felt okay. And dare I say now, my knee-jerk reaction, my comfortable stance in the squat straight after sumo seems to be a little wider than normal. And like all of you guys have said, automatically I feel like there's more space for me to sit in between my feet. This is something that I agree absolutely with you guys, is that if you have an extreme narrow stance squat, you are absolutely solely relying on dorsiflexion to stay upright. If your stance goes a little bit wider, yes, dorsiflexion is a factor as well there, but it's a lot less a factor. And then you can rely on some internal rotation of the hip, some abduction of the hip to kind of bypass some of that dorsiflexion requirement. That's kind of I think that's the step for me. If I'm gonna squat upright how I want, if I'm going to try and clean and jerk and all of that, I think I need to take a wider stance. But it's never felt good for me. In fact, it hurts if I squat really wide. But these wide stance squats are doing something to me, and I think there's a whole host of things that are happening. Obviously, they're not good looking, like I've been saying. These sumos are not good looking, very much posterior chain dominant, but still I feel like my hip flexors are letting go. I feel my adductors are letting go. I feel like it's a completely different movement, even though my body continues to try and lean. Just virtue of the wide stance, it's attacking me where it's not comfortable. So that's really positive for me. So every third day, I've got a day A, a B, and a C. Every third day, I'm coming in doing lots of sumos and lots of GHDs, and that's kind of the bulk of the work that I'm doing right now to address this glute posterior chain business. The wide stance, obviously sumo, that's attacking one part of hip extension. The narrow stance or the GHD is attacking another. So I'm kind of getting lots of volume in different stances. And I think it's heading in the right direction. It certainly feels that way. Now, it's not the most exciting work because I'm doing stuff that I don't feel my strongest in. But maybe that's what's required. So let's see if over the coming weeks, months, I can start to get a little bit more open in the hips, in the pelvis. I can externally rotate more. I can get my pelvis closer to the bar and make it more squatty and less hingy. I guess that would be the ideal, but I've got a long way to go. These adductors are a problem, but I don't think statically stretching them in that machine that I bought is the way to go, because that didn't feel good either. But maybe now that I'm doing lots and lots of sumos, it would be a good idea to introduce them. I'm not sure. It's something that popped up in my mind. You guys have questioned, why did I stop? Well, there was a reason. Guys, I've got a name I want to mention today. A fella by the name of Leif Thorsen, latest Patreon supporter, feeling strong level on Patreon. Leif, man, number one, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but I want to just say thank you. Like I always say to everyone that comes on and supports me, it never gets old for me. I never get comfortable with this idea of people supporting me from all over the world. It really is a special feeling, and I just want to, reach out to you individually, like I am in these videos, and thank you personally, and mark this gesture of yours in a video like this. So thank you, and thank you to all the other supporters, community. You guys are really making me feel special. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.